Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Christopher. Today, I'd like to walk you through 5 words that have different meanings in Toontown Rewritten than they would in most English uses. So, I have been playing this game, Toontown Rewritten, in its many different states for 16 years on and off, but for the better part of those 16 years. And so, when I was thinking about a concept that I wanted to talk about in the field of linguistics, I thought this would be a great place to start because I love this game and I have a lot of good memories with it. But as I began thinking about it, I also realized that there were many words within Toontown Rewritten that have a different context than they would in most English uses. So, in the field of linguistics, the context is extremely important to understanding the meaning of a particular saying or phrase or word. Such as that one of the examples that in a class I did was the word nice, where nice could mean, oh, that's a nice car in terms of that's a really sweet ride. Or it could be nice in terms of, oh, that person's a really nice person in terms of, oh, he or she's really kind. So, context is extremely important to understanding how we're using words. So first, I want to introduce to you the concept of the word doodle as it appears in Toontown Rewritten. So in most English uses, doodle usually means to make a drawing or to experiment with something artistically or the sketch that's produced when you experiment with that drawing. However, in Toontown, a the word doodle refers to this creature right here, which is my pet Waikiki. Um, Doodles actually function in battles within the game to heal tunes, and they're just really cute, and they're just a lot of fun to interact with at home. You can see that I can actually do these little tricks with them. And so the word doodle in Toontown actually means something much different than the word doodle in the real world. Turning to the left here, we are going to see a couple of these weird looking trees with pastries on them. Now, this is what's called gardening gags. And just a quick explanation of gags. These are the weapons that you use within Toontown Rewritten, which is an RPG or role-playing game. And you use the weapons against these guys, the cogs, which are evil robots that are named after corporate stereotypes. So you see things like Flunky, Double Talker, Number Cruncher, all kinds of names that make fun of the business world. So back to this discussion of these trees, which are called gag trees, I want to really focus on the word organic. So in the real world, organic usually means food that's grown without pesticides, such a place that you might get organic food would be somewhere like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. So in Toontown, however, organic doesn't necessarily refer to food grown without pesticides, but rather to gags that are grown on these trees to get special bonuses. If you look at my organic gags here, I have the throw gag track planted. And so you'll see, like, for example, Cupcake, you'll see under damage, 6 in parentheses plus 1. And you'll see as I go through, you'll see that on that damage bar that there's a particular bonus that it gives. Now, obviously, if these other gags, like for example, even like squirt, sound, lure, trap, none of these are things that we would probably eat, or at least I'd hope not. For example, nobody's going to eat a foghorn, but if I say an organic foghorn, it just means that I planted a foghorn, much like I have these trees here. So that's my estate. I want to go to somewhere else in the game now. I'll go to Downsdock, which is a playground. Now, in the real world, a playground is usually a place where kids come to play, usually has swings. You're seeing quite a few tunes here. It's usually a place that has swings, maybe like a sandbox or something like that. But in Toontown, a playground merely refers to an area where you don't get into battles, you're not going to be in trouble, just an area that you can run around in, recover. You'll see that's left near at the bottom. After battles, that'll usually go down. So it's a place where tunes can recover health. It's a place where you're safe, where you can go buy pets over there. You'll see the pet shop over here is a clothing store. You can buy more gags at the gag shop right here. So a playground is just simply another name for a safe space, or if you're familiar with other RPGs, the concept of a rest area. Going on, I want to talk about the concept of what is called an Uber tune. Now, yet again, Uber has a different meaning within a real-world social setting than it would in Toontown Rewritten. So, an Uber is in the real world usually refers to a driver. So, for example, we're so familiar with the concept of Uber drivers in today's world, or Uber Eats, for example. However, in Toontown Rewritten, Uber means something quite different. It refers to a tune that has a lower laugh meter, which you'll see here. This is my dad's tune, by the way. So you'll see that it actually his tune is a 64. I have 125. This is actually not what it was called his main tune. This is one of his secondary tunes in the game. So this is 64, but he has throw and squirt, so he has everything possible within these two gags. So that's considered unusually high for a 64. Usually you might see birthday cake, you might sometimes see storm cloud, but it's unusual for 64s to have lure, throw, and squirt maxed out. Ubers typically have everything maxed out. And they usually is a challenge to longtime players to try to level up their gags as high as they can without building up their laugh meter. So that the term Uber is also quite different within Toontown Rewritten than we would normally see in most contexts. I do want to take you to one final one, and that is the word suit. So I'm going to teleport there. And this is one of the main battle areas within the game, so I'm going to walk through the doors here and introduce you to the concept of suit. So when we talked about the cogs earlier, you saw them briefly on the screen, and the main enemies in Toontown Rewritten. They wear these really these business suits that you're seeing my toon walk around in right now. This is a cog disguise, so I'm dressing up as a cog in order to gain access to the boss battle within the game. What's interesting is that the word suit actually does mean a little bit like it does in the real world, so I'm going to do a different camera angle here for you. So you can see that my toon is indeed wearing a suit. However, the word suit also has a different context within Toontown Rewritten. So right now my toon is a Mr. Hollywood level 50. You start out as a cold car level 1, you build up to telemarketer, then you go name dropper, then glad hander, mover, and shaker, Two-Face, the Mingler, and then you go to Mr. Hollywood as you build up through the ranks. And you do about 5 for each, and then for Mr. Hollywood, you fight the VP 42 times. So with the term suit, a lot of times if a toon is going to a new suit, so for example, if they fall all 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in cold call and they get promoted to telemarketer, sometimes people will say at the end of the battle, oh, congratulations, you got a new suit. And it doesn't necessarily mean, as in a real world, like, oh, okay, so the word suit meaning either like the boss of a particular organization. It refers to dressy attire for men or women. So the term suit in Toontown Rewritten actually also has a different context of this idea of your level within the game. So when people say, oh, what suit are you? It doesn't necessarily mean, okay, what suit brand do you wear? Do you wear Armani? Do you wear Gucci? Do you wear Joseph A. Bank? Suit actually means more the concept of what level are you in a particular boss battle. And you'll see that there are 4 different bosses that you fight within the game, and these are the different the suits that you can be. And your suits are determined, as I had mentioned earlier, by the different cogs here. You go through these progressions for each of these 4 cog types. So that's a little bit about how language works in Toontown. I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you have any questions about how these terms work, feel free to leave a comment down in the description, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.